So the Illuminati were given a very predictable buff for outside of Crucible in the form of this Hank Pym passive. It's not going to be shown here on the playtest, but the in Crucible applies speed up for 2 turns to self Illuminati. That is now everywhere. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to test them on both the offensive and defensive side of war. We're going to find some good counters that they can beat and some good counters that beat them. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun one. Alright, just so everyone is on the same page here, I'm going to use the Iron Man version of this team until we get Stonewalled, and then I'll try the Captain Britain version. Then I'm going to have a list of teams that I tried and how it went, why it worked, or why it didn't work. But I want to really focus in on what's going to be the free-to-play version with the Iron Man over the Captain Britain, because I think the addition of the speed up to Hank Pym outside of Crucible is a net positive for mid-game players and non-spenders. And I want to try and showcase that and see what we can get done here. So first things first, let's just take a very, very mild check. We'll take them into Heroes for Hire. There's a Noir here, which is going to be a nice source of damage, I suppose. And this would be good because, like, new players, they didn't really have a reason to build up Heroes for Hire. They definitely don't have a reason to build up the counters for Heroes for Hire, like Dark Hunters or Weapon X is like a super luxury team. Hell, even A-Force is kind of a tough thing to build at this point. So our current counters in the mid game for Heroes for Hire is stuff like the Extreme team and Spider Society, Pegasus, stuff like that. So if we can find some good use for Illuminati here, this will be great. And I haven't even been paying attention and just ripping through this team. So it looks like this is going to be a very, very easy counter for Heroes for Hire. I like that. Let's move on to something a little bit more challenging. All right, let's try them against the new Avengers team. I would be very shocked if this one were to work. I also just realized my Iron Man placement is pretty horrible for getting that energy to Black Bolt. We'll fix that in the next fight. I would be very, very surprised if this worked. There are a couple of build mentions we should have here, which right there. So the Thing using his ultimate on Mr. Fantastic, I believe is a function of a focus check, if I'm not mistaken. So Mr. Fantastic eating that as opposed to Hank Pym eating that is very, very important. Shouldn't be too big an issue for free-to-play players because, like, you're going to have 3 diamonds, hopefully, on your Mr. Fantastic from Temporal Dimension, and you're going to have maybe 3 stars on your Hank Pym. Okay, so Iron Man's getting wrecked. Iron Man having the highest damage is a vibe for sure. That's also kind of a good thing because he just ate up that blind, and his first attack is unavoidable, so that's kind of cool. Tiger ult is going to decimate us. Yeah, I think we're just dead now, probably. So we'll use the special there. Black Bolt Burp is not unavoidable, so he's not going to be hitting these characters that have the dodge up. Ooh, Mr. Fantastic nearly bit the dust there. If he dies, that's over, right? Okay, so interesting that it seems closer than I would have thought. I wouldn't have thought we would have got any kind of way. Oh, wow. Oh, Hank Pym, no. This is not a free-to-play version. No free-to-play team is going to be beating this team, okay? This is a function of me having a 7 yellow, 7 red Hank Pym on the playtest. So this is not going to be an option for free-to-play players when you see people who can actually farm up their new Avengers. Now, if you're doing a punch down and you're facing like gear tier 15 new Avengers and you got your Hank Pym at gear tier 18, probably an option, but like, if he dies there, this is over. Like, that Hank Pym passive was massive, right? All right, let's move on. All right, now it's time for a big test. Alpha Flight, the newest, like, yes, this is a war defense team. There's no shot this should work, but we're going to test it out anyway. The new Avengers does feel like it's kind of fluky based on the size build here, so that's kind of interesting. We should get to go first in a bunch of cases here. Yeah, because we got the speed up. When it gets to the 3 reworks, they're super slow. So I wonder at what point North Star steps in and says, hey, let me get that. It looks like right now, actually. Mr. Fantastic speed bar is not full. All right, so nothing gets flipped on us. That's cool. Using the ultimate, what would be the point of using the ultimate right now? Extra damage? Sure. All right, so it's some pretty decent damage there. Special would extend debuffs. Actually, it doesn't extend ability block, doesn't, so kind of wasted. We do get a defense down land on him, though. We pushed him. Okay, so the bad part about pushing him there is that it led to him going stealth, and now his ability block was dropped. I have no way of finishing him off at this point. I mean, I had to hit him, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. And if my Black Bolt was a striker instead of raider, he actually kills the Sunfire there. But okay, but then Wolverine messes you up. Okay, so probably should have killed the Wolverine instead. But the Sasquatch, was he still ability blocked? Why did he? Okay, Sasquatch is dead. Oh, come on now. Don't tell me Team Canada already has yet another counter. The fact that we lost Black Bolt is big, right? All right. Bobsled Canada Canuck guy himself does good, and then Wolverine's gonna finish people off. All right, cool. This I think I misplayed some parts here. I want to see what happens when we throw in Captain Britain though. All right, so I'm gonna bench Iron Man here in lieu of the Captain Britain, and the reason for that is I do think I still want the help from Black Bolt. Black Bolt's increased damage seems to be doing something. The increased 10% they just gave him seems to be making him hit a little bit harder, so I kind of like that. Looks like Captain Britain will actually go before the North Star does here, so that's also very interesting to me. So let's get our safeguard up so that North Star can't flip anything. Boom, and then I think Captain Britain actually puts trauma out, right? Stun, disrupt, and trauma. So that's going to shut down the Sasquatch really hard. Oh, he can't go stealth now. So I can actually kill the Sasquatch. And we'll ult because it's going to do damage to everyone, and then we can pick our next target. Oh, this is a different fight with Captain Britain. I don't know if I like this. Not from like I like that I'm on the winning side right now. I just don't know if I like that Team Canada gets wrecked, and the taunt from Captain Britain eats up the Wolverine damage like breakfast, like bacon and eggs on a Sunday morning. Wolverine's dead. I don't even think I'm killing the right targets right now. And then Hank Pym's ultimate is crazy. That's going to be a dead Sunfire. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so the Spenders got like a way better team with the addition of the speed. The fact that they can do this now frees up out of time to do whatever they want. They were never using Mercs for money here. Oh, shoot. This is kind of trash. Why does the Canadian team have to suck so bad? Why does the Canadian team have to suck so bad? I'll do some more testing. I'll let you guys know what else they beat. But let's go look at what beats them when they're on the defensive side. If they're beating Alpha Flight, you got to wonder what's going to beat them. So the first team I'm going to try against this is going to be War Dogs with Kang over OG Black Panther. This comes from Jutsi. It's very interesting because it's going to rip the speed up off the Illuminati, and then the War Dogs should get to go ahead because, yeah, Kang gets 50% speed bar, right? Sorry, he doesn't take the speed up off, but he gets 50% speed bar, and then I could apply slow to them. He doesn't take the speed up off outside Crucible. I could basic here. That peeled off nothing. That focus check is kind of bonkers, but okay. We can steal these buffs. This might work, but it'll have a scaling issue, is what I'm seeing off the top of my head. And yeah, we're not going to test the Iron Man version, because what I want teams that are going to beat the Captain Britain version on defense, because then we know it's going to beat the Iron Man version. So we're about to have to eat all the damage from this Illuminati team right now. I wonder if the War Dogs are up to the task. Like, we have immunity, we have defense up, we don't have safeguard. All right, so now they have safeguard. Captain Britain is just... Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Not like this. Come on, not like this. Maybe there's a targeting issue there. We gotta find it. Like, maybe there's a targeting issue there. We couldn't really hurt anybody. And Captain Britain getting his taunt like that, like, you have to go for Captain Britain first. That's crazy. Let's check out option number 2. All right, so A-Force in my head should work very, very easily. Let me switch up some of these ISOs real quick. You could definitely be a Raider. You could definitely be a Skirmisher or Raider. I'll make you a Skirmisher, and we'll go from there. I feel like A-Force should work because we have 2 characters, 128 speed in Photon and Spider-Woman. That should get to go, immediately control the Hank. We'll have trauma and all that up, so I don't think it'll be an issue. I'll give immunity to everybody here, so we don't have to worry about the Black Panther doing her thing. Okay, so yeah, no ability block, because we definitely don't want an ability block on the Nico. We'll now flip this, right? And then I'll apply ability block to him so that he can't do his special. That's going to push to Captain Britain, right? Oh, no, we gave Disrupt to Captain Britain. Oh, this is just easy. So A-Force demolishes this, right? But I was saying earlier, like, how A-Force, they're kind of what I would consider an old school team at this point. Like, they're amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love the A-Force team. But on my new account, there's not a world where I would consider building up A-Force at this point. This was easy. All right, let's go find a more palatable team. Let's go do that. All right, so this, I think, is a much more palatable team. The Superior 6, but with Vulture in here. I think that because this team has so much value when it comes to Crucible, because people are going to be building this team up to help them get, I believe it's Black Cat is nowhere or Sinister 6, and people obviously go Sinister 6 route. I think this is a much more palatable solution, more value across all the game modes than something like A-Force, and I think this is just an auto win, right? Because, yeah, it doesn't stop the speed bar. Sure, they can't get slow, but because something like Vulture gets the speed bar here, he's going to do that first. And then we're going to have Goblin come in with the offense up. This rewind does hit. Nobody gets pushed yet. Oh, somebody got pushed. There you go. But it looks like Captain Britain also got pushed. I can put an ability block on Hank, even though it gets resisted. That's fine. We are going to absolutely lap these guys because we had speed up. So let's go ahead and... you know what? Let's try and get a kill out there to get our Vulture some speed bar. See if he can't get to go first. Captain Britain's just dead. And then Vulture's going to go. That's another rewind. That's another dead person. This is definitely going to be a very clear counter to this. I think this is great. There's some teams that I tested on the opposite side that'll clearly beat this as well. I'm going to do some backwards testing, and I'll let you guys know as opposed to making this like a 50-minute video. All right, so I did a lot more testing, and these are teams that the Iron Man Illuminati version couldn't beat. So the Extreme Rogue was hit or miss, so I just wouldn't consider that a good counter. Infestation, couldn't touch. Nowhere team, couldn't touch, especially if Hank got stunned by the Nova out the gate. Out of time, not even in the conversation, because the anti-focus from Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider, makes so you don't land anything, you can't strip nothing, and then Black Knight kills you. It's not close at all. Like, you get kind of lucky that Hank Pym gives you safeguard, so the Cosmic Ghost Rider doesn't immediately kill you, but you still just slowly die out. Skrull and Apocalypse teams, this one was interesting because I almost beat like a Spider Society Apocalypse team. But when Apocalypse eventually got to take his turn, he did murder Hank Pym, and from there it was over. Skrull teams, again, you can actually beat some really bad Skrull teams, but if there's a decent Skrull team, like Skrull Secret Defenders, it's just not going to happen. Speaking of Secret Defenders, this team did beat Secret Defenders, full Secret Defenders, I should say. But if you throw in an interesting fifth there, like America Chavez, not sure how that's going to line up. The Illuminati with Iron Man, it did crush everything you would expect it to crush. Like, Hive Mind, not close. Pegasus, not close. It beat Weapon X, which is very interesting. So, it's going to beat everything you would expect it to beat, but not really touch the teams that are kind of current super meta defense, right? Until you include Captain Britain, at which point it doesn't matter what else this team can beat, you're just going to use them against the Alpha Flight team, and that's going to save your out of time to go deal with new Avengers a lot more securely than this team would do, or to go deal with whatever you want at that point, right? So this was a very, very interesting testing phase for me. I do still think it's a positive for people that are not like, I'm pushing for rank 1 war. Because the second you're doing that, if you don't have Captain Britain and you're in that hyper-competitive war scene, it kind of feels a lot like Crucible, where the difference between having Captain Britain and being able to take out an Alpha Flight team, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a really big deal. So we showed some teams that were beating this Illuminati. The list didn't go much further than that. Like, Mercs for Money, demolish it. Out of Time beats it. Nowhere beats it. Undying was very convincing. I used Doom and Dorm at first, and I took them out and I put like Archangel and Kang in. That beat it. I tried a bunch of different Cabal versions where I had like Vulture coming in to give them a really, really fast speed up, and he would take the speed up off of the enemy, but because he can't do slow, and Emma doesn't affect the team when there's a Captain Britain on it, Cabal just couldn't get ahead of them before Hank Pym put the safeguard up, and from there it was over. And then we showed a bunch that do work. We showed the A-Force working. We showed Superior 6 working. So your main offensive teams, they're still just going to laugh at the Illuminati, which I think is good. It's primarily going to be an offensive team. But once again, it comes down to like, hey, the Captain Britain owners now have another Alpha Flight counter. Take that for what you will. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you kind of plan out how you're going to be using your Illuminati in the future. Of course, you guys, the multitude of you, are normally a lot more clever than me, and you find out some interesting uses for these guys, either as plug and play or in different matches that you see in your daily war adventures. So if you have anything of interest, please leave it in the comment sections below. Share it with everybody, and we'll talk about it. Could be a lot of fun. But for now, stay happy, healthy, have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.